Well, hello there. Today has been an interesting day. Today, they released images of the Vanity Fair Star Wars shoot for the June issue of 2022, which is something the Vanity Fair usually does with like upcoming Star Wars films, except in this case, it's upcoming Star Wars shows. And one of those shows has Mon Mothma in it. And she got to be part of these fancy Annie Leibovitz photo shoots. So, because of that, we haven't seen anything for the Andor show, but we've seen these images. We've seen Mon Mothma's new outfit for that show, and I don't know. Celebration's coming up in like a week and a half. So I've got time, right? I've got time between now and then to make Mon Mothma's new outfit. Bad idea, yes. But did I already buy fabric for it? Also, yes. Is the fabric 100% what I want? No, but it captures the same idea. So that I can finish it for celebration and then upgrade it after celebration. Yes. I'm not one to make great sewing choices. In fact, I often make really stupid sewing choices. But I'm also really stubborn. So once I get an idea, I'm gonna want to finish it. And this is one of those instances. Okay, so I'm working on sketching out the patterns because I will make a pattern for this. I'll go over the why later. But going over patterns, obviously looking at what few images there are. But there's one thing, I'm working on the dress right now and not the cape, but there's one thing I just gotta talk about, and that's the shoulder pads on the cape. I don't know how I feel about this design choice, just because of the material of the cape. Also, and I think based on the design of the dress, I think that the shoulder pads are just in the cape, and it's weird. Am I going to include it? Yeah, because I've already cut out the pads for it, but it's a weird choice. Obviously, I still love this design, and they definitely could have done worse, because they have done worse before for Mon Mothma. But yeah, so that's where I am right now. It is, what day is it? Today is the 21st of May. I leave for celebration on the 27th. We'll see what happens. I also don't have any of like the main fabric yet. I've bought it. It is all shipped, but I have not received it yet. So we'll see what happens. Am I crazy? Yes. Do I care? No. So this is my bag full of pattern paper. As you can see, it's just a bunch of random paper that I save. I think this is from shoes or something. And then this is from Amazon box. This is obviously wrapping paper. But any sort of large pieces of paper, I will just save to use for pattern paper, because why not? I don't pattern that often, mostly because it's an extra step, and I'm usually making one-of-a-kind projects that I'm not ever going to need this pattern again, so I don't need these pieces of paper just sitting around. But for this project, I am patterning it out because I already know that I'll be making this again in more accurate fabric and I will probably have to repattern parts because so far we only have a short clip of her and one image. So I don't know anything about what this dress looks like from like the thigh down and the entirety of the back. So most likely I'll 100% have to remake this dress and do it accurately, and any sort of help with that I'm going to take. So I am going to take the time to pattern out the dress. So for the cape, I got this fabric, and it is a 2-way stretch and not a 4-way stretch. So it stretches this way, but it doesn't stretch this way, which is good because I'm going to need it to stretch for the sleeve because that was very tight on her arm. So that will help make the sleeve look nice. But for the draping of the cape, I don't want it to stretch out over time. So I'm going to need to use this part to drape over my shoulders. It still has some stretch to it, but not nearly as much as this way. And now this is the right side of the fabric. This is the wrong side. And the cape it's like a tube. It's folded over and sewn down one side, and that one side is like against the neck and blended in. So essentially you need twice the amount. So I'm going to basically just fold this over and then put my markings on the wrong side. So to flip this over, but I'm doing it like this for right now and measuring out how much I need, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'll make sense at all during this video. Con crunch is real, and so is a full-time job. Ooh, okay. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with the cape. And basically this whole jacket cape situation that she has is all self-lined in this fabric. The sleeve doesn't look like it's lined. So the sleeve will just be the one layer. This is what we call setbacks. This is why it takes me forever to finish things. Because of cats. Thank you. Can you vacate the fabric, please, ma'am? Ma'am, you need to leave the fabric. It is time for you to go. You do not need to go home, but you cannot stay here. I will call the authorities to have you removed. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so all the jacket is what I'm calling it, parts are cut out. There's 4 pieces for each one because there's a front and a back, and then it's self-lined. So this is one side, and then this is the other side shoulder. And then this is the one sleeve, which is on this side. And now I need to figure out, with that large chunk of fabric that I cut at the very beginning, is the weird drapey cape part that wraps around the front. I kind of understood it, and now staring at this, I don't understand it again, because it was kind of complicated. So I'm gonna have to go stare at it some more and figure this out. Wish me luck. Now we sew the jack cape thing. So most of the silver pieces are sewn. I just have to turn them out because they were lined with themselves. I essentially sewed it how one would sew a pillow or a pillowcase. But now I have to turn it inside out and then attach the sleeve. It goes like this. The fun thing about this fabric though is that it snags easily. So I have to keep reapplying lotion because my hands are very dry. So that's been fun. Definitely getting a better quality fabric when I remake this. And really hope that little kitty paws and claws don't snag anything. Yeah. So this is the sleeve. And I need to input this weird little seam there. But like, it's slanted, and I put that in my drawing. It's slanted, but like obviously the seam isn't going to meet up. So, okay, well, I'm gonna do that now, I guess. Good morning. I am on my lunch break. It is Wednesday the 25th, and tomorrow's the first day of celebration, which obviously I will not be there. I won't be attending until Saturday, which gives me time to finish my costume. But I have a good group of friends that are driving down today. But for me, I am on my lunch break, sewing a sleeve. Okay, I think the cape thing is almost done. I just need to add a snap or something to secure this down. And then I need to hem the bottoms closed as well. I know, look at my outfit. Much fashion. And then I have to somehow attach it to the jacket base part. which is also almost done. Then I just need to add a snap for that closure as well as the shoulder pads. But then this part will be done. This isn't laying quite how I would like, but I think that comes down to the fabric. So what I think they used for hers is they used a stretch fabric for the sleeve and then a non-stretch fabric for the rest of it. But they got it in almost the same color because the sleeve looks slightly lighter than the rest of it. So that might be the way I go to for version 2.0. More accurate once I know what it's supposed to look like. Okay. Enough of this mirror talk. So now, yay. So I straightened the wig out. Now it looks like older Ginny Weasley. But so her hair comes to like chin length. So scissor time. And it's done. I was unsure how it was going to turn out after I did the cutting. And I think it is still a little short because my head is bigger than the wig head. But it'll do. So now the earrings. I bought these and they look really close. She wears them like that. So these will be the actual earring part. And then I've got a chain. This is in gunmetal. This was like the thinnest chain I could find. So I will eventually replace this with a thin silver one that matches the rest of the earring. But for now, this is how it's gonna be. So I found these leaf charms, which the main reason why I chose them is one, because they're silver and they're teardrop shaped, but they are light. And there's a small video of her being interviewed by Vanity Fair where you see the earrings move, and they move like they're lightweight. So I decided to go with this. GG. No biting. And now for her bracelet. It's like a gold bangle. I found this at Michael's. It's one of those like diffuser things. Obviously, I don't want this, so I'm going to attempt to remove it. And so she has this gold bangle, and then there's like a gold bar that goes across to connect it. And I found these. This is a little more rose gold colored, and this is more of a true yellow gold color. But they're close enough that it will do for now. And then this, ooh, focus. This hammer texture will help secure the glue because she has sparkles that go along the gold bar. So I'm going to have to glue on some of these. Yeah. Which I think will look kind of strange. It'd be better if I could find like a little gold bar with rhinestones or diamonds or something already inset into it down the middle, but obviously time is of the essence here, so we'll just glue rhinestones to it for now and then change it later. Final product, it is drying. So now I'm just gonna leave that there to dry and hope that a cat doesn't, come along and ruin it. Alright, these are the Hana metals. I kind of messed up a little bit. I'm not great at foam work, so the fact that I'm even doing this out of foam is impressive. But I'm going to cut these out. I'm going to kind of indent the foam a bit more. I don't think I'm going to do the cutting and heating method just because I need to keep this thin. Yeah, but then I'm going to paint it. Okay, working on the lining now. I'm using just some white fabric that I had in my stash, and I had enough, more than enough. It's amazing. But yeah, so this will be the lining for the dress as well as a mock-up. But I don't really have time to tweak it that much, so we'll see if I actually tweak it at all. I have my pattern laid out. It's folded over, so everything's going to be cut out twice, which is perfect. And hopefully a cat doesn't come along and sit on this. I tried to weigh it down with my weights, which are cookbooks, but these are too small. I don't have tiny cookbooks that'll fit these pieces, so we'll see. me bring you on a little fabric journey. So the day that these images released from the Vanity Fair photo shoot, I immediately started looking for materials. And by the end of that evening, I had ordered the beads and the main dress fabric and the cape jacket thing fabric. And then the wig, and yeah, that was all I ordered that evening. The wig was set to arrive Thursday. It arrived Thursday. The cape fabric was supposed to arrive Friday of that week, and it didn't. So I checked the shipping status, and it said it was delayed, that it would arrive between the 21st and the 24th. And I was like, okay, the 21st through the 24th is when that main dress fabric was supposed to arrive, because I specifically bought that fabric because it would arrive in time. And then the next day, there was still no shipping update from the cape fabric. So I checked again, and it said it was delayed and that they would charge me once it shipped. The weird thing about that was that earlier in the week, I had gotten a shipping notification for the fabric, and then it did show up. But that was after I had mad scrambled, gone to Joann, actually found a decent enough fabric that stretched, and proceeded to cut it and mostly sew it. And then the next day, the other fabric arrived. So now I have that fabric to add to my stash. Now the main dress fabric. That was, estimated to arrive between the 21st and the 24th, and they say that that's just an estimation. It's not a guarantee. But usually I've had luck. But I bought the fabric. It was the closest that I could find to the texture that would arrive in time. I thought. But today is Wednesday, the 25th. I got like a notification on Friday of last week that it dispatched, but the post office still has not received it to ship out. And I was hoping that it would just magically appear like the other fabric did, but so far that has not proven true. Luckily, I have a fabric in my stash that is silver and has a crinkle texture to it. It has a bit more depth to it. And I originally bought it years ago because I thought it would be perfect to remake my Thranduil costume. Well, unfortunately, I will not be remaking my Thranduil costume with this fabric. I don't even know if I'll ever remake Thranduil. I still haven't even finished making Legolas for the third time, or any of the many other Tolkien elves that I want to make. Anyway, this is not about Lord of the Rings, this is about Star Wars. It's about Mon Mothma. So yeah, not making Thranduil, and I will be using the fabric for this. So this is the fabric. It has like a weird, so its base color is this beige, and then it has like a gray lace pattern on top of it. You can sort of see like a scallop thing there, and like a floral motif there. Yeah, it's weird. And then it also has this sparkle, so it's weird. But yeah, this is what I'm gonna use. It also stretches, which may or may not be an issue. But yeah, funky. Status update. So these is the outer dress. Yeah, this is going great. It's all sewn together, so that's a plus. I know you can tell, but hey, you can really see that weird lace print on it now. Yeah. Oh well. And then this is the lining. It has the zipper on it already. That's a mola mola. And then I'm going to add boning to it and some horsehair along the top seam, bust line, neckline, whatever we're calling it. Is going to go up there, and that will help support the top, just because this is kind of a flimsy fabric and this is a stretchy fabric. Whee! So it's going to need that extra support. Right now I'm going to uncurl my boning and maybe sew it in tonight. Maybe I'll go to bed instead, because today has been a day. Yeah, we'll see. And that's a lot of cat toys. Yeah. In case you don't know how to flatten boning, because boning usually comes curled up, and then you, particularly this kind, well, all boning you want around the edges so it doesn't poke you when you eventually wear the garment. And then you just lay it as flat as you can. Lay it flat on an ironing board. Put a piece of cloth over top. I'm using cotton. Sometimes I use a tea towel. And then you can either use steam to get it super hot, but you don't really need to. You can just use your iron on like linen. Be careful not to melt the boning to the board or your fabric. And then once it's nice and hot, you just put a heavy book, obviously using a cookbook, on top of it, and that'll keep it flat while it sets and cools down, because the boning is plastic, and just like if you're styling a wig, you heat it up and then you hold it in the shape you want it as it cools down, and it sets in that shape because it's plastic. So that's what you're doing with the boning in a cookbook. But yeah, fun little tip. Sorry I didn't actually show you the process. Okay, I am pinning the fabric to the lining, and as I suspected, this would be a problem. So the lining does not stretch. This does stretch. I didn't really take any sewing precautionary measures when I was sewing this, because I was doing that at like 11 last night, and I had to go to work today, so I had to get up early. So it was basically just get it done and then fix it later, or just don't care. But I do care about this. So, so this is the very front top panel. This is the bodice front. And then over here on the side seams, like I knew that these are supposed to line up. They did not line up. I did not care, because no one really would see the side seams, because Mon Mothma keeps her arms down, plus she's got the weird shoulder cape thing that, like, I obviously did not care. But, so this side is all pinned to the lining, and this side is all pinned to the lining, and this is all extra fabric. So, like, if I were to pin it to the lining, there's like this much extra fabric of flap that obviously stretched when I was sewing. So I'm basically just going to like pin this so that it lines up with the lining line where it's supposed to be, and I'll just sew along here and close that up. The lining looks fine, so the pattern will still work as long as I don't use a stretchy fabric, which based on the dress, it kind of looks like home fabric, like either a bedspread or a curtain or something like that. So usually those aren't stretchy. So I should be okay when I find the better fabric instead of Threadquill fabric. But yeah, so it's on this side, and there's extra on this side too. Not as much, interestingly enough. Do I know why? No, I don't. But yeah, so this is also gonna get kind of the same treatment. Okay, so I'm trying it on just to see how it holds on the body, and you can see that there is some rippling from the stretchy fabric. So I'm basically just gonna pull that into the center, try to make it as smooth and flat as possible and less baggy, because the lining isn't perfectly smooth on me. So yeah. See, I originally had planned to flatline the fabric because even the fabric that I ordered was going to be stretchy. But I cut that step out due to time. I don't really regret that. I still feel like this will be a little faster, whatever janky alterations I come up with in this present moment, versus flatlining every single piece. Probably should have just at least done it for the bodice, but here we are. Janky alterations it is. Okay, pinning this part is giving me a headache. It's annoying me. Everything else is pinning nicely except this part is being funky. And of course, she cute, but she ain't helping me at all. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to break down and actually put it on my mannequin. Problem, yeah, see, that's why we don't do that. Got that on film. But the problem with that is the mannequin currently has not one, not two, but 3 other Mon Mothma costumes on it. Well, part of it's the other half of this costume. And then I have the original one. And then I have a fancy one on there as well. Which this is the overlay for the fancy one. Also, hello Avengers Campus outfit that I've not put back in my closet. But anyway, so I'm gonna have to take all of this off, which, I mean, I have to pack most of the stuff anyway. So yeah, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should pack. And then once I'm packed, all I'd have to worry about is this costume. Okay, we got it on the mannequin now. And you can see where all the problem bits are. Like this is, sorry, there's no light there. But there, this is a problem that I'll have to somehow fix. I can't put a dart there. Nope. That, yeah. Ooh. Luckily, I am mostly packed. I've got the entirety of my OG Mon Mothma costume packed up, and I have the rest of this costume packed up, except for both shoes. I need to pull those boots out. But yeah, so basically I can eat dinner and then just focus on this. But I am hopeful. And it's done. Sort of. I still need to sew the hook and eye, and there's a few little hole bits like that I'll just hand sew closed. That was from the alterations, so there aren't that many. And there's a Tic Tac. It's Tic Tac approved. Is it almost 11 p.m. the day before I leave, and I have work at 4 in the morning? Yes, it is true. But dress finally done, despite me messing up several times. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pack this all up. Pack whatever else I need to pack up, like some sewing stuff. And then I'm mostly ready, I think. I'll have a little bit of time when I come home from work to finish packing, and then I drive. And yeah, I'll just focus on TikTok. So I'm gonna go pack and go to sleep. My car is now packed. At least my half of the car is packed. I'm gonna go pick up my friend now, and then we'll be on our way to Star Wars Celebration. Woot. Oh, hello. We have made it to our hotel. It is like 9:30, like 9:45. But we've made it. Now we're going to go to Trader Sam's because that was what kept us going. Kept me going since 3 a.m. Tired. Wave at him. Thank you for watching me make the brand new Mon Mothma outfit from the Vanity Fair photo shoot for the Star Wars TV shows. I was pleased with how it turned out. It's not perfect. As I stated, I will be remaking it, but it was absolutely 100% worth it. I got wonderful reactions from so many different people at Celebration. A lot of people just randomly walking up to me going, "You did it. You did it." And yeah, I did do it. Was it crazy? Absolutely, but very worth it. Obviously, I am a fan of Mon Mothma. If you want to know why I'm dressed as OG Mon Mothma, I do have a TikTok, and this was for a TikTok video. Also, coming soon to my YouTube channel will be me making this Mon Mothma outfit as well. It's just taking longer than the other one, because the other one I did in 6 days. This one I'm actually taking my time with it. But so that will be coming soon. Lots of Mon Mothma content coming soon, especially based on that Andor trailer that we got, and there's 3 new outfits for her in there. Yeah, I'm about to be a little busy. And I'm okay with that. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.
Let me sing the first verse and then you come in the chorus, okay? You'll know the song. Okay. Let me just get ready. Day after day I'm more confused. When I look for the light through the pouring rain, know that it's a game that I hate to lose. I'm feeling the shame, and in the shame, oh, give me the beat forwards and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Oh, give me the beat forwards and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Boys and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll.